I'll work on that transition. Hello everyone. Hi Tring Leo, thank you for tuning in. So hello mini Voyagers. Today we are working on Link, as you can see up there. Finally going to be doing a little bit more work on this guy. Had not been too productive this week, so I'm looking forward to getting some more done. I'm going to tilt that up a little bit. There we go. As you can see, we're starting off, I'm going to be cutting the fabric for his undershirt. You might have seen in the time-lapse video I posted last week, because my stream wasn't working, that I made this already. I did like a test run of it to try out one method, and I wasn't too happy with it. It could have worked, but it wasn't quite the way I wanted it to be. So now we are going to be making a new version with an altered pattern. I had to make a lot of alterations to the other one just to make it fit. It was much too big because of how stretchy this fabric is. So I've had to take the pattern in a lot, which is why you can see it's very, very narrow. Like, it's like 3 hands wide, which obviously I'm not. I'm like 5 hands wide. So I really had to take in like that much off of the pattern. Like that much. It was a lot. So yep, I've got my chat open, so if you have any questions or anything while I'm working, let me know. I was thinking, because I've made that little be right back screen, because I'm probably going to change to that in a bit later, because hopefully it won't take too long to cut this out, and then I will set up again to sew it together. I'm going to tilt this a little bit this way, because otherwise you can't see me when I'm cutting stuff. But yeah, so I was thinking it'd be nice to have some music in the background of these for not for next week, but for the week after, when I'm back from my friend Leo's house. I'll try and sort that out. I'll work on the stream layout and stuff while I'm there, even though I probably won't be able to do a proper stream while I'm there. So hello to Snowy and to Makise, thank you very much for tuning in. I've just seen you on the chat. Makise is early, well done. Yeah, Snowy, I had an advert as well. Snowy just mentioned getting an advert at the start of the stream. I got it when I was opening it up, trying to get the chat open, so there's no escape, even on your own streams. But yeah, as you guys can see, I'm not pinning this fabric, I'm just using weights to hold down. So these are little weights that I made. And then I've improvised a couple of extra ones, because I only have 6 weights at the moment. I need to make some more. But yeah, I'm just using those to hold the fabric in place. You do that a lot with stretch fabrics. Generally, you don't pin into them. It can damage the fabric, it can mark the fabric. And also, when you pin, you have a tendency to distort the fabric, which means that your pattern pieces could actually end up being kind of the wrong shape. So by cutting it out, and just holding it down with the weights as you cut it out, I should say, you minimise how much that distortion happens. So, and you avoid, like this fabric, I don't really have to worry about marking it, but it's very stretchy. So I am worried about it distorting as I cut it. Maki said, did you accidentally start a stream on Journey Outfits? I got a notification for it, but there wasn't a stream there. Yes, I forgot to switch my stream keys around because you can't have like you can't have them like saved and switch them around in OBS from what I can see, which means that I have to manually change them for each stream that I do on the 2 different platforms. I forgot to do that. I was wondering why it wasn't coming up on Twitch, and then I realised that I must have not changed it back. So I'm sorry about that. We're gonna just, let's see. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully you can actually see me. Yeah, there you go. You can see me while I'm cutting now. Most of the time, anyway. Snowy said, are you upgrading the old cosplay or is it a new one? Yes, you did, and said that she asked me this before. She did, she messaged me about it and I forgot to reply. But this is a brand new costume. I did one other cosplay of Link a few years ago. Not a few years, yeah, I guess actually I did make it a couple of years ago. I made it in 2015. That was like an original design of Link. It was sort of going like, I'm really excited about this new game. Like it was Zelda Wii U at the time. Obviously now it's Breath of the Wild. They released like the first trailer at E3, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm so excited. And there's like this advanced technology. That's so interesting. And then I was like, what would I really love to see in a Zelda game? And the kind of idea was like this world that like there had been like there's like all this advanced technology, but like magical kind of technology, and all of the like places that you knew, like the Temple of Time and all that kind of stuff, were like ruins, and you get to like climb and explore the ruins. Like it's really funny how close I was to what the actual game ended up being. Like I was like, what's all this stuff that I would love to see in a Zelda game? And then I designed a costume based on that, and then it turned out that the actual game that was coming, that got me thinking about that, was really close. So Psychic Sean struck there, or I was just very lucky. It means that I knew I was going to absolutely love Breath of the Wild when I found that out, because it was already everything. I knew it was everything that I wanted it to be. Yes. Snowy said, wow, that's super interesting. Are you going to use the cosplay for something? Is it just kind of for fun that you're doing it? This is actually the costume I'm making for the European Cosplay Gathering, or ECG, preliminaries, which are taking place at EGX in September. ECG is like the biggest European cosplay event, like cosplay competition, I'd say. It's certainly the one I think most people know about, and it's at Japan Expo, which is the biggest Japanese culture event in Europe. And yeah, it's the preliminaries of that are to see who will represent the UK in that competition, to get representations for each country. You get a solo representative and group representative, so like a solo performer and like a pair or trio of people as well. I'm going for the solo category as Link. Snowy said, I'll be cheering you on. Winning would be amazing, but at least top 5 maybe? No pressure though. Yeah, no, I mean like, I'm working really hard on it because I want to win, because like that's what competition is about, but I would be really happy if I could place. As you guys know, I came second in the Cosplay World Masters qualifier in February. Here's a quick example of just how stretchy this is, by the way, guys. It's pretty stretchy. That's why I had to be very careful about it distorting, but it looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with that, so that's one piece cut out. Yeah, McKee said, no pressure, you can do it, Sean. Thank you. Tringlio said, I'm sure you'll do awesomely. Thank you very much, guys. Like, I really want to take part. I really want to push myself. Like, that's the thing. Like, because I'm like, I won't be heartbroken if I don't win. Like, I will be fine with that, because I know the standard at this competition is incredibly high. And just trying to push myself to be on that, like, playing field, like, that level, I really want to try. You know what I mean? So, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's, like, the biggest reason why I want to do it is to see if I can. I want to, like, prove to myself that I'm capable. So, hopefully I will. Alright, so we've got all these loose bits here. I'm just going to duck around the camera. Snowy said I love some stretch. Yes, Same. I do love stretch fabrics. It's quite funny that I somehow managed to find stretch in this costume, which I thought would not have any stretch in it. I think there's another outfit I'd really like to do from Breath of the Wild for Link, which is the Sheikah armor, which would be mostly stretch. So I hope maybe I might do that next year. There's so many outfits in this game. It's so good. I want to try and get all of them. That's one of my quests. Oh no, Tringlow's hamster escaped. Well, I hope you can get her back out from under the sofa. It's not a good place for a hamster to be. Oh yeah, that's fine. I've got plenty of room. I thought I was pretty sure I had checked, but I just wanted to double check that I had enough fabric and I wasn't going to have to like try and jiggle stuff around. I only bought a meter, because I could only buy this by the meter online. And so I bought a meter for the first one, and it was just not quite enough. I kind of had to shorten it a bit, and it wasn't good. Whereas this I've actually, like, so I shortened the pattern on my other one. You can see here I've actually lengthened it again so that it will actually sit as a full top, because the other one was sort of cropped. But it was fine because I knew it was a test, so I wasn't like planning on actually using that one. So I wasn't too worried. Alright. We're going to put our weights back on again. I'm more worried about the top matching up because like a bit of the shoulder seams and also those seams there will be visible. Whereas the rest is going to be under the tunic, so because this you can see has got like a cable knit and design to it, so I kind of want them to match along the shoulder seams as best as I can. Like that's a big priority to me, like just in terms of adding that little extra bit of pizzazz, that extra bit of detail would be like, you know, that those line up. That they would line up. Because then, you know, when you're getting looked at up close and prejudging, like being able to just show that like you've put that little extra bit of thought in, and the, you know, like the cables, they all line up with each other. Like, it's just like a little extra step to make it look better. So yeah, I'm just double checking compared to this one that I've got them about lined up, which I think I have, yeah. I think the only other thing would be to check that it's in like the right part of... Yeah. I think that's going to be perfect. So I'll put the rest of my pattern weights down to hold it in place now, because it's all going to go from there. So in fact, no, because it's a bit awkward if they're there. But there we go. We will go into the next bit. Mickey said, nowadays, do you make more cosplays for competitions or just for pure fun? Well, for me, I find the competitions really fun. So I would consider that being part of the fun of cosplay for me now. But I certainly do try to do a reasonable amount of cosplays that are just for, like, I've done a couple recently that have been like, there's not been too much to do on them. So like those are sort of my more, that's what I would sort of consider my more like just for fun cosplays. Would be things like my Yurio cosplay or Yukito as well. Where it's mainly wig work. It was a good excuse to practice wig work, but it didn't have like as much work in terms of the whole costume to do, and I just did those because I wanted to wear them with friends and have something fun and casual to wear. So I'm doing, maybe it's one of those things I think I'm doing for my competition costumes. I'm doing bigger projects, and so to counter that, I'm making more of these little casual projects as well. So yeah, it's kind of like, I think I probably, in terms of the amount of work I do, I put more time and stuff into these competition costumes. But I probably do an even balance of competitive and non-competitive cosplays, if that answers your question. Snowy said, any cosplays you wanted to make but didn't get the chance to in the past? There's been a couple. One I can particularly think of is, if any of you have ever watched Doctor Who, there was a character called Madame Vastra, who was, she's a lizard woman, actually. And I was actually in the process of beginning to, like, work on the prosthetics and stuff like that, which is difficult with my latex allergy, so I was looking into the alternatives and stuff. But then just personal circumstance came up. I wasn't really in a good place to work on that kind of project. And I needed something kind of fun to do, so I did a little casual kind of Iron Man thing where I did like one arm, and then I can't think, the arc reactor in the chest and stuff. So I didn't end up doing that, although it's something that I probably wouldn't want to do now, because it's very like Victorian costume, and I don't like doing period costume. It's one of my least favourite things. Which makes me a bit of an oddball at my uni, because period costume is quite popular. But then I think that's cool, like I really admire the people who do it, because it's so difficult. It really does take skill to do. It's just not where I want to channel my energies. I like stuff more like this, or more like the Yuri on Ice stuff, like the skating costumes and stuff. And fantasy stuff and sci-fi stuff in general. It's much more up my alley. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other cosplays that I was like, I really want to do this. Like, there's things that are on my plans that I've just not had the chance to do yet. Which is kind of different. There's an original character of mine who I wanted to make just a costume of and a puppet for another character that goes with them. But I think I'm actually going to be doing a bit more with them, hopefully, in the next year or two. So, that's all I'm going to say right now. Tringlio said, you're really good at what you do anyway. I mean, you're so talented. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. That's the thing, like, we all have different things that we're good at and that we want to be good at. And I think I've begun to find my niche as a costume maker. Like, I've begun to sort of work out who I am as Voyager, like, what do I want to do, and then, yeah, I don't know, so I feel quite positive in that regard at the moment. I think I have a bit more of an idea of who I am as a maker. But yeah, you're very sweet to say I'm talented. I think I don't know if I'm talented. I know that I've just been doing it for so long, and I've been trained to do it now, and I'm just like, I don't know whether there was an innate, I'm not sure. I think, what is talent? It depends on, guess maybe I do think of talent as being like that sort of drive, and then like the skills that you learn as a result of it, or is it more like an innate, inbuilt thing? Ooh. Flashing in and out there, I'm sorry. These streams. Snowy said, yeah, I hope you get to in the future, and that you get to make many new ones too. Who knows, maybe a new great game or show will come along. That's the thing, you always end up with a new show that you want to make something from. Sometimes I literally have to hold off of starting to watch or listen to something. Just because I know that it's going to completely, I know I'm going to cosplay from it. Like, there's the Adventure Zone, the podcast from the McElroys, and it's like a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. And I already know from the little bits that I've heard that I really want to cosplay Taco, or I will really want to cosplay Taco. And that's why I've not started listening to it yet, because I know once I do, I will really want to be making a Taco cosplay, and I need to focus on Link. So, but I'm probably going to start listening to it because it'll be something good to listen to while I'm working, actually. So, who knows what will happen then. McKee said, I mean, talent is just a concept for skill. Some people say you're born with it, but it's more your motivation to get good at something. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I agree with you in that. I think, like, yeah, talent comes from wanting to work hard and, like, having a passion for something that means you put your all into it. I think that's where talent comes from. So I agree with you on that. Snowy says that he thinks it's partly talent comes naturally and that some of it can be taught. Yeah, maybe it's like a balance of those things. I just think it's like such an interesting concept. You see some people who are like geniuses and you're like, they're so talented. And you see some people who like, they've just worked and worked and worked at it their whole lives. And you're like, they're so talented. So it's interesting. Chinglio said, quick question, I know that Mettaton is old news, but why did you want to cosplay them? Yeah, I mean, like, there's one of those things, like, Mettaton now, like, I'm like, I'm done. I've like, had my time with Mettaton. It was lovely. I did have a great time cosplaying Mettaton, but I just kind of feel like that's done for me now, which I think is fine. All things come and go, and I cosplayed him for a lot longer than I would normally cosplay a character, like continuously. Did him for most of last year, and I was just kind of like, by the time we finished Hard to Be a Star, I was like, that's it, I'm not doing anymore. I just said I'm not doing anymore. But I love him as a character, and I still love him as a character, and I wanted to cosplay him for a few different reasons. I wanted to cosplay him because visually I just love the aesthetic of the character. I loved his whole portion of the game. Like, he was so funny, and I think he's such like a big personality. And I kind of wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone. Like, I normally cosplay sort of, especially in terms of like the male characters that I cosplay are like the smaller, cuter kind of boys, like the kind of childish kind of boys. Things like Minami from Yuri on Ice is a really good example of that kind of character. Like when I was watching it, I was like, I want to cosplay from this, but who should I do? And then Minami came on, I was like, oh, it's going to be him, because he is my character type, and I just always love that kind of character. Guess because I kind of feel like I'm slightly similar in that respect. I'm kind of childish. I'm like the smaller kind of guy, and I don't know, I guess I'm cute. But Mettaton is so different from that. But I also kind of related to him with this sort of like, he is a guy and he owns that, and he owns being feminine and being dramatic and stuff, and like just seeing a male character who so confidently embodies that, and it's not a joke, it's not a punchline, everyone's just like, oh my god. Like, that was really fun to try and take on, because it was such a different personality from what I was used to taking on for cosplay. And I think it really boosted my confidence. Snowy said his character is so flamboyant. Yes. Exactly. Like, that's probably a really good term for him. And it's just like there's so many reasons why I love that, and just sort of the confidence boost that you get from playing a character like that, it turns out is really great. So that's part of why I enjoyed cosplaying him again a few times, but also he was exhausting to wear. So tiring. I'm not going to wear such a I was about to say not going to wear such a body paint heavy cosplay again anytime soon, because I'll be doing Undyne, which would probably be my final Undertale cosplay. I want to finish her because she's partway done, and I'm really excited to finish the costume and do the photo shoot. So I'm really happy with what I've done so far, and I think it's going to look really cool. But it is also just kind of Like, after that, I think I'm just kind of ready to not cosplay Undertale anymore. I don't want to ever become known for, like, a single character or a single franchise or something. Like, that doesn't appeal to me. I think part of why I'm so, like, I'm done with being Mettaton now is because so much of the attention that I've had has been for Mettaton that it kind of just makes me feel like, oh, people just think of me as Mettaton, and that's really not the kind of cosplayer that I want to be. Like, for some people that's great and that they love that, and I think that's perfectly fine. It's just individual preference. Snowy said the same thing. Sorry, because I wasn't looking at the chat enough to see that you'd said it too. Yeah. Snowy's the #1 fan. Apparently, if I like cute childish boys, I'd love Ren from Super Lovers. Oh, right, okay. What's that about? Because I think you mentioned it in my last stream or something, and then I didn't know what it was. I'm like, I have so many to watch. There's one of my favourite characters of that type who I have cosplayed is Yumuto, or Battle Lover Scarlet, from Cute High Earth Defense Club Love, which is a magical boy anime. It was Binan Koko Chikyu Boy Bu Love. Cute High Earth Defense Club Love. Oh, Snowy said Amanda didn't even respond to me. Maybe she's scared. No, she saw it and she thought it was funny, which probably just didn't reply. She's just like, what's going on? And I had to explain it to her. Don't actually fight. But yes, I'm just cutting out my arms now. Been chatting away. Probably could have done this in like 10 minutes. No. To be honest, this is what I'm like even when I've not got anyone to talk to. So I just talk to my cat instead. But yeah, so there were lots of things that drew me to Mettaton, and then, yeah, I guess what kind of made me go, I'm done with that now, is just sort of, yeah, wanting to do something different. I don't like doing the same thing all the time. I mean, like to change my hair colour a lot and stuff like that. I don't like being stationary as a person. I like to shake things up. In terms of the work that I do and the way that I look, other things not so much. I'm also a big fan of a good routine. Oh, hi Matilda, thank you very much for tuning in. Oh, so you can only stay for a little bit, but it's lovely to have you. We have just been chatting about cosplay a lot. Quite like the chat in Twitch stream. Lots of cosplay related questions, which is always cool. Like, because obviously, well, you guys know me. If it's about cosplay or costume making, I can talk people's ears off, so... Tringlio said different is good. Tringlio, different is good, exactly. And yeah, I'm just trying to find who I am, and the best way to find who I want to be, like, as a maker, is to just keep making and making new stuff. And I've always done that, like... There's so many costumes I made that I only wore one time, like... Snowy said I'm actually not sure what Super Lovers is about. At first I thought it was about love, suddenly it was about family and brothers, and now I'm just lost. Who knows then? It's just a complete mystery. One of the nice things about stretch patterns, like leotard patterns, is that generally speaking your fronts and backs are the same. At least for like tops and leotards, they're more or less the same. It changes once you get to the lower half, so like go like shaping around the butt and stuff like that. But for the top, your front and your back will be the same. Your sleeves don't need to be like flipped over because they're symmetrical. So that's nice. I don't have to think about that, which is just makes things a little bit easier for me. Let's see. I feel like maybe I should put them in line so that they're about the same. Then that way, like, it's probably not going to be that noticeable arm to arm, but to me, I know that it's all the same. All I need to do is grab my camera. When I'm changing the setup for overlocking this together, I will actually take a quick break to take a couple of photos because I need them, because for the competition I am creating a process book. I've not put my weights down. But yeah, I'm making a process book which shows basically the work that I've done on this costume. Because you only get, in prejudging you only get a couple of minutes maximum, like it can be 1 or 2 minutes sometimes, depending on the competition. With the judges, to sort of talk them through your entire costume, and when it's a costume with as many elements as this, but really any costume that you want to take to like an international contest, you want to get across every single thing that you did and show that you did it as well. Like you can turn around and you'd be like, I made this like this, here's the photos. Or even if you don't have time to talk through everybody else, you don't get to talk through every aspect of the costume even. They can see it and they're able to take that away afterwards and use it for further consideration if they want to. It just makes everything a lot clearer for them, so they can actually judge your costume better, basically. So one of the main pieces of feedback I got back from the judges at Cosplay World Masters was you should have a process book with you, because I didn't. And the cosplayer who won, who had an amazing costume, very well deserved win. One of the things that sort of set her apart from me as a contestant was her process book. So that was like, I was like, okay, I'm definitely 110% doing that for ECG. Here's all my leftovers. It's very squishy. I love this fabric. It's actually like entirely synthetic, it's polyester or something, but it does feel like knitted, like cotton knit, which is really nice. I'm just gonna, I'll pop it back there actually, I don't want to drop it all on my sofa. Alright, so, as it stands, I've cut out all of my pieces, which means the main things to do are to overlock them together. So I'm sewing them with an overlocker or a serger, is the other name for that. It's a good way of sewing stretch, and it's also what I use to finish my seams to stop them fraying. But yeah, so I'm going to be overlocking them together, overlocking the hems as well so that they don't fray, and overlocking the neck, the top of the neck. And then that will be it mostly finished. All that will be left to do is, if I show you with the pattern piece, if you see the collar here is quite tall, what I'm going to be doing is folding that inside and just hand sewing it in place on the inside. So then the appearance you get is this like continuous collar going up, which is what it looks like in game. That was one of the reasons I wasn't happy with my prototype, my toile, was that because I had attached it as a separate collar, there was a seam. I'd matched it up very nicely, but you could see it was separate, and going back to the reference images and looking up close, I could see that that wasn't the way it should be, which is why I've changed the pattern to have it what we would call grown in, or just included in the actual pattern. But yeah, the costume making term would be a grown in collar, I suppose. Yeah, I normally would say something like grown in facing or something like that. But yes, so I am going to quickly take a little break. I will have something to drink. Snowy just said, don't forget to drink as you're working. I do have my mug here of peach squash today, telling me to stay hydrated. But yeah, I am going to be right back. The stream isn't going to turn off, so feel free to stay in the chat. I will be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to have to set everything up to focus on the overlocker instead. So I will see you guys in a second. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that works alright. Slightly wonky webcam. Sorry about that. But hi guys. Hope you had a nice time while I was gone. Looked like you guys were chatting a lot. What have I actually... I'm still not 100% set up. I just didn't want to be away too long. Hello. Oh god, I'm knocking everything over up there. It was a short break, just a quick interval. I've still got red threads in here from when I was doing the tunic the other day, which no, you wouldn't be able to see. But it's here. So that's the tunic as it is at the moment. There's still work to do on it. But it's this really lovely, I'll see if I can show you guys. It's lovely red linen. I love it very much, although it likes to wrinkle. Does like to crease. Other than that, I like it. So we'll pop those over there for now. And then, so what I'm going to be doing is tying all these threads in and then pulling them through. The overlocker might be a bit noisy, so please forgive me for that. Oh, Tringlio, I hope the stream starts working again for you. I know my internet is just doesn't seem to enjoy streaming to Twitch at the moment, but I hope that it's doing alright and that it works for you. But yeah, ideally I would have kept the green on this overlocker until I was done with it. However, because I had to wait like the best part of a week for my fabric to arrive after I used up what I had ordered, it just meant that I had to get on with something else, and either the tunic or the trousers, it was going to be red, so like it wasn't going to be this colour, so I thought, hell, I'll just get on with it and change back, because this is not too bad, but because threading an overlocker is very intimidating until you realise you can pretty much just pull all of the threads through. That's the way I got taught to do it. It's the way I got taught to do it at my old work, and then again at university. Just kind of, like, I can, if one of the threads does get unthreaded, I can certainly rethread them. There's usually instructions in the overlocker as well. But it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't have to... I'll try not to. Oh, Tringlio's internet is working again. I'm glad to hear it. Alright. Okay, so here we go. So, do all of you guys know what an overlocker is? I'm curious. I think I did mention earlier what it is and what it's used for, and it's also known as a serger. That's what they're known as in the US, and I think in some other parts of the world as well. Snowy said that she made Jeannie laugh just now. What did he do? Jeannie just came back from being away, so I'm very happy. She's back in the country, which generally just means that I get to message her more often. Snowy sent Jeannie a pun saying, you probably heard this pun a lot, but I think you're genius. That's very funny. I like that a lot. Nice work. Alright. No, we're not doing that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I still need to get these threads through. Okay, so... one of them wasn't knotted properly. Well, that's alright. I can rethread that one, no problem. When you take out one of the needles in an overlocker, this is a 2-needle overlocker, you actually get what's called baby lock, or what I've been taught is called baby lock, which is this much smaller overlocking stitch, which is good if you want it to be very delicate. But I don't want it to be delicate, I want it to be strong, so. Oh, here we go. We've got to the knot. So, this is what I would do to both of them if they had both come through. Cut it on either side of the knot. Pull the threads out. And then we're just gonna thread that through. Normally you'd have like a really handy pair of tweezers to help you pull it through, but I can never seem to find mine when I need them. That's great. And then I'm going to thread this one, especially because it did not, I obviously hadn't tied it properly or something. Need a lot more thread than that. It's going up. There's like a bar here which I you see there? So I just threaded that through there. I'm not sure how much sewing experience you guys have, so oh, I'm sorry for your ears, guys. Yes, the overlocker is loud. I will look into, I think I can probably do a noise gate or something, so I will look into that. So that next time it is not as noisy for you guys. It will like cut the audio out or something like that. But the knot jokes, I'm loving the knot puns, thank you guys. I do love puns. Something that kind of like you guys missed out on with the Hyper Japan vlog with Andy, because they just never ended up on camera. I made so many puns that day. Like, I think Andy was ready to just leave without me. I made too many puns. But what can I say? I love puns. But yes, I'm sorry for the sudden loud noise. I will say when I'm about to do some more. This is being very tense. Come on. There you go. That's better. All right. So now we've got our 4 threads in green. And we're just going to check that it's all working. Yep. So that's sewing just fine now. So yeah, what it does is it locks these 4 stitches together, and if you've ever sewn a seam and then used like a zigzag stitch to stop it from fraying, then yeah. You needle to lower the sound. Makis, your puns are too good. I love it. I might... No, I can do that later. For now, let's get our seams done. It's a lot of... It's because it's kind of thick, so you want to make sure that you get it all under there. Get it all under there. So that they don't like slip and move away from each other. Alright, I'm going to be overlocking again. Do you know what I'll do? In general, I'll turn the mic down a little bit. Just so it's a bit less intense. And I'll talk a little bit louder. How's that? Let me know if that sounds alright, but I'm about to start overlocking. guys said that's better. Good. I'm glad that that's worked out all right. Hopefully this has also worked out all right. It did. They are more or less lined up. So, see if you guys can see that. The light is actually going through it. You see it starts with those two in line with each other on the neck. And then as it goes into the shoulder seam, I think you can see that. That the cables connect to the cables and the lines connect to the lines. All the way down. We're just a little bit neater. It's not 110% perfect. Towards the end it goes off a little bit, but that bit won't be visible. So relatively, it's pretty good that we've got all of that bit there. Mickey said you should stitch to this volume. The puns just keep on coming. I love it. Snowy said, I've just got to say, I'm loving that colour, such a lovely shade, isn't it? I'm so happy with this because I was really struggling to find a fabric for this. Like, I went to Goldhawk Road, which is like one of the two big shopping areas for fabric in London. I even went to parts of the Berwick Street, Oxford Circus area, which is the other area for fabric. I just couldn't find anything at all. I had to resort to eBay, which was kind of risky because I couldn't even get a sample of this. I had to order like a meter, which is what I did. I ordered a meter to make the twirl out of. And it just, I saw the picture and I was like, that looks like it's going to be perfect, but it might end up not being right. Like, the colour might actually be completely different, or like it might be that the knit is way too small or way too big or something. But it came and I was like, this is pretty darn close to what I wanted. I think it's as physically close as I could get in the real world to what, because it's so stylized that I've kind of added a little bit of extra detail. Like, it's clearly knitted and it's clearly got some kind of ribbing to it, like wide ribs. This has the cable knit element as well, which I think just adds a little bit of extra to it while still being 100% like true. So yeah, I love this fabric so much. And yes, the colour, I was really happy with it when it turned up. It was just the right colour and just the right amount of different from the other bit of green. If you can see on the little picture up there, his like a bit around his like waist and hips, the green bit, it's actually a different shade of green, and it was just the right kind of difference between the two. This is just that bit paler, bit ashier, bit cooler in tone, bit more muted, that's the word that I wanted. That it works really well. And it works really well with the red of the tunic as well. Very happy with it. I might even, before the end of the stream, if this is in a wearable state, which it should be. I mean, we've only been streaming for an hour. I'm planning to maybe go on for another hour maximum. I won't usually do more than 2 hours on these streams. But it will be like between 1 and 2 hours generally. But yeah, so the plan is hopefully have this in a wearable state. It will be mostly finished apart from just actually hand sewing that neck, because I will go and do that another time, and probably tomorrow while I'm just chilling out. So I'll quickly throw the tunic on in the state that it's in, and you guys can like see the difference. Well, not see the difference, see it together. See a bit more of it starting to come together a little bit. Which I think will be exciting. It'll be exciting for me too. You guys are like, gosh, it's been an hour already. Sorry if you just keep hearing buzzing. Something's happening on my phone, so I'll pop that away. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying it and it's not felt like... Worst thing would be to be like, God, it feels like it's been 5 hours. Alright, so... Woo! There we have... the shoulders done with the collar as well. So then the collar just tucks in like that. So then when it's worn, just looks like this nice continuous turtleneck. I think that's going to work really well. I wasn't sure because it's not what I did on the first one, but I thought it'd be worth a try and it looks like it's going to work well, so I'm happy. This other shoulder, I think, I can't tell which one I just did. Or be whichever one. No, I have no idea. No idea which one I just did. It's got pretty good I think it's this one's the one that I just did. It matches up pretty well again. Reasonably well. Alright, so the next step, this is how I normally put together a sleeved leotard as well. So this isn't obviously a normal sort of stretch fabric, but I'm applying the same process to it. So I hope that that's like maybe a bit informative for you guys. Obviously next time I do a proper leotard, I'll try and stream that as well, because I know I never did the second part of my stretch tutorial. So I will at some point try and do a bit more of a proper stretch tutorial. But yeah, for this is actually the border that I would put it together in for a sleeved leotard as well. So I go for shoulders first, and then I'm putting the sleeve into the armhole, and then I go along the bottom of the arm and the sides, and then that's it constructed. Obviously with a leotard that has like, it goes over the crotch and the butt, you have to do up that bottom seam as well. And if you're going to do up that bottom seam, because you could also have Velcro in there, which is what I have for Minami. Because of the turtleneck, I didn't want to have a zip in there, so I decided to make it openable at the bottom. Also just because it makes it easier when you're at a convention, you want to go to the loo quickly. So rather than thinking about what would be more likely for an actual figure skating costume, I did what would be more practical for me at a convention. I'm going to find where my midpoint is, which is that one there. Cool. It's good to have kind of like, because you can't use pins really when you're going through an overlocker, so it's good to have like a point of reference of like, that's the middle, so I kind of want it to line up there, because it could move around very easily. You guys making more puns in the chat. It's tea puns now. This is literally like a pun party. It's great. It's pun-believably good. I'm sorry, that was terrible. I'm gonna sew. So there you go, you can see, if we hold that up, it almost looks like something that's kind of put together now, once you get the sleeve set in. So you can hold it like that and you're like, yeah, that looks like the sleeve. But now that's set in, nice and neat. Some threads got trapped there, we'll get rid of those. Trusty pair of snips, such a valuable thing to have. And we will do the same with the other sleeve. Snow just said soft and neat. Voyager crafts. No. Alright. Snowy asked if I saw the new Dan and Phil Games video. The one that's Lady Layton, the puzzle solving one. Yes, I did. That was really nice. Compared to the Crash Bandicoot one, it was incredibly calm. That was very fun to watch. I'm a big fan of the Professor Layton series, although I've not finished the 5th game or the 6th. I've not started the 6th because I've not finished the 5th. I kind of got to a bit that was a bit of a slog. So I will go back because my best friend finished it. Joking Penguin finished it, and he said that I'm kind of towards the end of it, so I should just push through. But it's been like 6 months or something since I last played. So yeah, I'm excited to see a new game in the series anyway, so it was cool to see a little bit of that. And also to see Dan and Phil play it. And yeah, playing something that is a lot more calm compared to a lot of what they've played recently. Snowy says that she hasn't seen the other one. You should watch the Crash Bandicoot video. Unless you're not a fan of strong language, because there's a lot of strong language in that one. It's like the hardest Crash Bandicoot level ever, and Crash Bandicoot is already really hard. So, it's very funny. Yeah, I mean, like, I think they are very entertaining in that one. Sorry, Snowy just said that she's not a fan of Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, I think you could probably just find it funny just watching them try to do it and like see whether they can actually get through it, because it is very funny. They get so stressed out. Which is what I'm like with a lot of video games, to be honest. Oh dear. So, just reacting to what Snow was saying in the chat. Everyone just apparently likes to watch Dan scream at video games, so there you go. It's just a common thing, apparently. Alright, so now both the sleeves are set in, which just leaves this lovely long seam to do on each side. And then the overlocking, and then it is nearly done. Like, it doesn't actually take that long. I guess I've done it quite a few times now. So it definitely took me longer the first few times I did it. But yeah, now it doesn't take me too long to do. One of the things you might have noticed is there's no seam. Sorry, someone just made a dad joke. That was fantastic. But there's no seam allowance in stretch sewing. which is interesting. It's weird to get used to at first because it feels like when you're used to traditional sewing, you're like, there's no seam allowance, but it's actually important because for most fabrics, this thing I've had to take this in a lot because like the pattern in a lot because of how stretchy this is. But normally it's more stretchy going down than going across. So you would shorten your pattern to make it fit tightly that way. And then just the not including the seam allowance, the bit that you lose from actually sewing is enough to kind of counteract how stretchy that is and make it fitted horizontally. So that's why you don't have seams. So I have like no seam allowance. I mean, not you have seams, but you don't have seam allowance. But I'm like no seam allowance plus getting rid of a load of extra as well for this because it's so stretchy. So I'm just going to make sure that my little, like I want the sleeve head to be neatly lined up. So the good thing about this one is I took a lot of photos of how I made the twirl, which means that for this one I can kind of just be more like, here's the altered pattern, here's the cut out pieces, here's the finished one. I'll probably take some photos as I'm doing the neck though, like the collar, because that's different. So you don't want to repeat yourself too much, really, because like they've only got so much time to look through it. So. Alright, that's one side done. Ta-da! So it's nearly ready to nearly wearable. But yeah, hello to everyone who is watching. I know not everybody is in the chat, but it's really nice to have all of you, so I hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Snowy just said, I think I'm going to miss next week's stream and I'm already sad. I'm probably not going to stream next Saturday because that's the day I'm going to Leo Magus' house. For those of you who don't know Leo Magus, my friend Leo, he is a cosplayer and he does wig commissions and stuff like that. He is very, very talented. I'm actually going to his house for a week to learn how to make lace fronts for wigs and for fake beards and moustaches and stuff like that as well. So that's really exciting. Also just to go and hang out with him, but I'm going there for a week. I'll be there from Saturday to Friday. So the next Saturday I will definitely be streaming. Would be doing a Journey Outfits live stream this coming no, not this coming Monday, but the next Monday while I'm at Leo's, and I'll definitely do that one. Either on my own or with Leo, because I've not talked to him about it. I might just be like, hey, I'm going to go and live stream for an hour, which I'm sure will be fine. Or 45 minutes or whatever. So do look out for that one on Journey Outfits. But yeah, what I will try and do is all the work that I do on Link this week, I'll do another mini time lapse and upload that on Saturday in place of the live stream. So you won't miss out on anything, because you won't miss anything that's live, hopefully. Drink Leo said, that sounds interesting. And Snow said, I hope you have loads of fun. Thank you. But yeah, like there will be I'm trying to whenever, because obviously just like I would like to be here every Saturday, but it's just not possible. I don't know whether another day of the week would be better. It seems like whatever day of the week I choose to live stream on, I end up having things happening that night. So, but I think after this, I shouldn't be missing any Saturday live streams until EGX. I don't think so. So. I guess it's like you jump in his room and scream surprise stream. I feel like that's a bad thing to do. Definitely the first time you visit someone's house. That maybe that might just be a bit like never inviting them back again. Aww. Snowy said, won't miss out on anything but you because we will miss you. But you'll have videos from me, I promise. Speaking of, I need to decide what I want this week's video to be, because now I've done my Hyper Japan stuff, I actually don't have any videos prepared. I've got a video that I want to do for Journey Outfits, which I think I mentioned on Twitter, because I went to Adventures in Moominland, Moomins and Tove Jensen. Tove Jensen? I was saying Tove Jansen for up until I went to this exhibition, but it's Tove Jansen, the creator of the Moomins. So it was about her and about the Moomins. It was amazing. And I kind of filmed around the whole day, just a cute little vlog. So I ended up going on my own. So I was like, I'll bring my camera instead. But yeah, so that's like a Journey Outfits video. So like it's not a Voyager video. So I'll need to work out what I want to do this week and next week, because I need to make 2 videos, or at least film 2 videos this week, because I'm not sure if I'm going to want to, if I film anything, if I vlog my time at Leo's, like what I'm learning and stuff, I probably won't put that up until the next week, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to prepare 2 videos so that there's something for this week, obviously, and something for while I'm away. I'm glad to hear you guys are like excited and interested in it. Snowy said, I'm still inviting for that Cardcaptor Sakura intro video I mentioned. That might be something that happens. I don't really have a good wig for Sakura at the moment. I still have my Sakura cosplay, but I don't have... Do I have the wig? I might not have the wig at all, but if I do, I'm not quite happy with it. So we'll see. If I get it, might be something that's like later in the year if I do something with Sakura. But it's something I definitely like to do. It's something I thought about doing over like the last couple of years, really, doing a cover of that song because I do love it so much, and I love cosplaying Sakura and from Cardcaptor Sakura in general. But there was an idea I had for a video that was like how to like stay motivated working on cosplay. What do you guys think of that? Like, I'm gonna give like my top 5 tips, like what I use to sort of motivate or inspire me if I'm having a bit of a slump and I can't, like, you know, like, oh, I don't really want to work on it. Like, what I do to sort of recharge my cosplay batteries. What do you guys think of that? Snowy said, oh yes, that would be great. That's cool. Yeah, I thought it was like a fun little idea. So I might film that this week and then something else, so I'll have to think of something. I have a whole bunch of video ideas jotted down that I did at the end of my summer term at uni, so I'd have things to like pull from over the summer. So I should have a look and see what else I wrote down. Alright, so the sleeves are done and they're just kind of overlocked just to stop them from fraying, so they won't unravel. Snowy said, I love the idea, especially because it doesn't have to apply to cosplay only, just a motivation thing in general. And McKee said you could also open a subject and talk about motivation about things in general. Yeah, I think definitely it would sort of, at least some of them would definitely apply to sort of just generally motivating yourself for creative projects. And also just keeping your motivation and your energy in the right place can work for anything. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I hope that it would be kind of like useful, applicable even if you don't do cosplay at the moment or ever. Tringleo said, due to issues, I'm not able to do cosplay at the moment, but I would love that video. Oh, well, I hope you enjoy it then. It's a shame that you're not able to do cosplay. I hope that you can do soon, because it is so much fun. I'm just going to overlock the neck, and then I'm going to overlock the bottom hem, and then this will actually be like wearable because it will just be the hand sewing that isn't done. So if you guys want, I can quickly throw it on with the tunic so you guys can like see what it will, kind of a bit of what it will look like, the way it's intended to be worn. McKee said talking to friends about it is always something that brings motivation. Yeah, that's a really good point. That wasn't one that I was thinking about raising, but I might include that one because yeah, I often sort of go like sharing my progress with friends and like getting feedback can be really good for my motivation and can get me out of sort of being like, oh, I've done so badly, into being like, oh, actually, yeah, I know what I need to do, but I didn't do too bad. McKee's was like, hey, I did a thing. And Trinity said, that's what I always do when I'm writing my stories. It really helps boost my confidence. Yeah, there's something really lovely about, like, not sort of like just having people be like, yeah, it's really good when it's not, but sort of like having people be like, yeah, I think, you know, like you did alright, and like I can see, like, I can get where you're coming from, like, because I might be like, oh, I think I need to change, like, there's something about this that doesn't feel right, and then they'll be like, okay, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and then, like, just being able to sort of verbalize what you're thinking can really help. And then also when you do have people go like, no, you did a really good job, it is just so good for your confidence. I absolutely agree. Yeah, McKee said also when they say the thing you did bad, it can like be good to help you improve and sort of, yeah, the honesty. Yeah, like I'd much rather get honest feedback on my work, on like the things that I make than someone just be nice to me just because they're my friend. They don't want me to feel bad because I'm like, I want to do my absolute best on this project, especially. Like for me, I'm like, I'm really trying to push myself to do the very best that I can. So I want people to be like, yeah, no, you could do that better or something. Or even just be like, I can see where you're coming from and why you think that would be better. And you should do it if you want to. Oh, speaking of things, here we go. So this is the shirt. Try and show that to you. There we go. All right. What I will do is I will put you guys on BRB once again. I will quickly pull the stuff on and then I will show you. I will show you guys what it looks like. All right. So I will see you guys momentarily.
Cause
that at the right level? It's so wonky. Alright, let's try and work this out. What? Hey. Alright, so yeah, this isn't the best angle, but let's not faff around with it too much. Welcome to my very busy rail. So here is the tunic with the undershirt. I am much happy with this collar. I feel like once it's stitched it's going to look really nice. I'll come closer to this camera and show you the way that that looks. I'm quite happy with that. One thing I have noticed as I've put this on, which is something that I can go back and fix, is that the shoulders have stretched out a bit with being overlocked. So the shoulder seam is sitting like down here rather than like up here where you can see the tunic one is. So I'm going to go back and fix that. I can just go in and cut the overlocking away and just re-overlock it higher up. Like it's kind of a little bit noticeable through the sleeves of the tunic, so I think it's something that's worth going back and fixing. But other than that, I'm really happy with the fit of the sleeves. The fit of it, it's actually sitting all the way down there. If I show you. Whereas like my other one was a lot higher up, it didn't sit very nicely. I think just generally it's worked out pretty well. I'm just going to fix up that one little bit, hand sew that, and then it will be ready. So I'm really happy with how that's come out. Thank you guys so much for for tuning in and watching me. What have you guys been saying in the chat? Dringo said that looks really good, and also I want that beanie. It is my favorite, one of my favorite hats. It's my peridot hat. It is a very comfortable beanie. It just adds to the look, I think. Snowy said, "Oh my god." And Snowy just returned to it being worn. Ta-da. Snowy likes it. Thank you very much. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I feel like I'm probably gonna wrap the stream up. Mickey said it looks super good. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm gonna wrap the stream up now. I think we got a lot done today, which is really good. I was faster than I expected it to be, and I'm really happy with what I managed to do. Just got a little bit to fix up. That's always the way. If you do it flawlessly, like one day I'll do it and it'll be absolutely perfect. But there's a learning process trying out these new things and these new fabrics. So I'm really happy with what I managed to do with the pattern alteration that I did. Fix up those little bits, it'll be ready to go. Hopefully finish the tunic this week other than the embroidery as well, and make the trousers is the plan. Before I go to Leo's, do the embroidery while I'm at Leo Magus' house. But yes, I'm very excited to share more link progress with you guys. There won't be a stream this coming Saturday, but I will upload another mini time-lapse if I can to my YouTube channel, Voyager Costume. So if you're watching and you don't subscribe to me on YouTube, please do head over there and give me a subscribe on Voyager Costume. And you can also head over to my side channel, Journey Outfits, where I will be doing a casual live stream, which is just like a little sit down and chat on Monday evening, hopefully. I do those every other Monday. And yeah, and I will have another video out on Friday, which might be the motivation video, might be something else, but definitely in the next 2 weeks the motivation video will be out. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's lovely to have you guys. Thank you to everyone who was in the chat. It was lovely to talk to you. And to everyone else who was watching while they were doing other stuff, thank you very much for tuning in. I have been Voyager Costume, and I will see you guys on Twitch in 2 weeks' time. Alright, bye-bye mini Voyagers!